From Plymouth State University, PM weather with student meteorologist Eric Jean.
We begin this Tuesday evening on the storm watch as we've seen an area of light snow move into the region over the last few hours. And we've already seen a light dusting over the pathways of Plymouth State University, where we're currently under a winter weather advisory in effect until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for 2 to 4 inches of snow possible. Good evening, I'm student meteorologist Eric Jean. We have a current temperature outside of 28 degrees right now, a dew point of 27 degrees, which gives us a relative humidity of 94%. The winds are calm and the sea level pressure is 29.37 inches and falling rapidly. Your Plymouth Almanac for today, February 16, 2010. We're right where we should be in terms of our normal high, 33 degrees today. This morning's low is 22 degrees, much milder than our normal low of 7 degrees. And today's precipitation, we've had 0.05 of an inch so far, with some more expected through the overnight hours. Your sun and moon date at 5:18 p.m. tonight will be the sunset. Your moon is 4% illuminated and waxing, and your sunrise is tomorrow morning at 6:43. Taking a look at the regional conditions, we see much of the northeast stuck in the clouds. We start to get in the snow throughout much of southwestern Maine, into central and southern New Hampshire, and into eastern Massachusetts, where we've seen some heavier bands and some accumulation already up to 4 inches on the North Shore. And that'll continue to be the case throughout much of southern New Hampshire over the next few hours. While over here to the west, we see mainly cloudy conditions, and that'll also be the case throughout the overnight hours as this storm system will pass far enough to the south that they will not be affected. Looking at your current U.S. surface temperatures, we see much of the northeast is stuck in the 30s right now. We start to moderate into the 40s and 50s throughout much of the southeast. Our coldest air is located in the North Dakota in the teens right now, and we continue to see that colder pool of air down into the Midwest, where we're in the 20s throughout much of the Great Lakes, 30s throughout the southern plains, 40s and 50s through Texas, some 40s and 50s throughout much of the Pacific Northwest, and 60s in Southern California. Your surface analysis shows us that low pressure system is centered just to the south of the Cape right now, and that'll continue to move its way up into the Gulf of Maine and into the Maritimes through the day tomorrow and into tomorrow night as a building area of high pressure starts to build into the region, and we have our new low pressure system just entering to the Pacific Northwest. Looking at the U.S. radar and satellite composite, we see that storm system right here continuing to pinwheel moisture in off the Atlantic Ocean. That'll continue to feed into southern and central New England before it starts to exit throughout later tonight. We also notice this feature, the spinning area right here associated with an upper level low, also giving chances for snow that'll be persistent over the next few days. And here's our storm system, which is slowly moving its way into the Pacific Northwest. Your tonight low temperatures are 20s throughout much of the northeast, except in the higher elevations where we could get some teens. And that continues into the southeast, and 30s, even cold down in Florida right now, 40s down there in Miami. The coldest air, though, is located in the Dakotas, negative single digits, and we start to moderate into the teens and 20s throughout much of Texas, 30s in the Pacific Northwest, and 40s throughout much of California for tonight. Tomorrow we'll be in the 30s for the most part in the northeast. Along the Massachusetts coastline, we could touch 40, same with the mid-Atlantic, and we'll be in the 50s and 60s through much of Florida, whereas we see temperatures in the 20s and 30s throughout much of the Midwest before moderating into the 50s throughout much of Texas, and in the Pacific Northwest, even some 70s down there in Southern California. Tomorrow night's low temperatures, we see 20s throughout much of the eastern seaboard, except in the higher elevations where we'll see teens, especially into the Midwest. Some single digits still pulling into the upper Midwest, and we see temperatures in the 30s and 40s in the California. Your precipitation outlook, we see 70% chance of precipitation tonight throughout much of eastern New England, and that'll continue to move its way off the coast in tomorrow. And here's where we see greatest chance of seeing precipitation, especially with that low centered right over the Lake Michigan right now. And that'll continue to just sit there as the storm exits off into the Maritimes tomorrow and into tomorrow night. Still the lingering snow showers around in the mountains. Your best shot is again by the Great Lakes. Your PSU forecast for night, any lingering snow ends, additional dusting to 2 inches possible, a low of 22 degrees and winds out of the northwest at 5 to 10 miles an hour. For tomorrow, mostly cloudy skies, windy, a high of 32, winds northwest at 10 to 20 miles an hour. For tomorrow night, we'll see cloudy skies, a low of 24, winds out of the northwest at 5 to 15 miles an hour, and your PSU extended forecast showing Thursday we'll see some sun, a morning low of 25, a high of 34, cloudy on Friday with a high of 32, and sunny Saturday with a low of 21 and a high of 31. Thank you for joining me tonight. For this edition of PM Weather, you can join me or my colleagues every other weekday night at 7, 10, and 11 right here on Channel 20. Have a great evening.